Hi friends, welcome to Learn IT with Venkat. Today's video I am going to discuss about static routing and how it could be configured in the topology using CISCO Packet Tracer. At first I would like to start with what is meant by a routing. Routing is nothing but the forwarding of the packets from source network to the destination network. If you do any activities like browsing, chatting, sending email, there are a lot of packets being generated from your source network. You should have some route information to be maintained in each network how to reach the destination network. Where this route path is maintained means which is going to store it in the routing table and maintained by the routers. If you take this topology, here I am having two local area network LAN 10.10.10.0 and another local area network 192.168.10.0. These two LAN connected with wide area network 11.11.11.0. If this PC1 wants to communicate with this PC2, this will forward the packets. Once it reaches the router, this router should be aware of how to reach this destination network. It should have that route path to the destinations. So how we can maintain it? There are three ways of doing that. One is static routing, default routing and dynamic routing. By using these three ways, the router could be able to understand how to forward the packets to the destination, to make your router to learn the route path. Here I am going to discuss about static routing, which is the first routing mechanism. As name implies, it is going to be a fixed routes configured manually by the administrator on your router. So if the administrator configured manually means the administrator should be aware of what is the destination network address and what is the subnet mask and all, because to reach it, because that route has to be configured on the router. So it is mandatory by the administrator to be aware of the destination network ID and the subnet mask, which is going to be a difficult task when you go for a large scale of network, because the administrator has to be aware of all the network's informations. Routing table is not changed until administrator changes it. The route will not get changed in your router until unless the administrator changes it. So it is going to be a fixed one. That is why it is called a static. Static means fixed. Due to this reason, this type of routing we called it a secure way, because it is configured by the administrator. So the administrator will decide to which network I wish to communicate, which network I don't want to communicate. So it is going to be a secure one and also the fastest one. Why it is fastest means it is going to have an administrative distance as 1. So the minimum value is having highest priority of forwarding. It starts with 0 up to 255. 0 is assigned for the directly connected network. Directly connected network means if you take this router 1, two networks are directly connected. One is 10, 10, 10, 0 and another one is 11, 11, 11, 1. If you take this router is also directly connected with two networks. One is 11 network and another one is 192 network. So these two networks are directly connected, which is having the minimum administrative distance as 0. So next to the directly connected network value is going to be the static route value, which is 1. So it is the next highest priority route. So it is going to be a fast. Added to this, it is also having some disadvantages, such as used for only small network, which is not scalable. As I told you before, the administrator has to manually configure all the network, destination networks information. So how many networks the administrator can able to remember it. So it is only used for very small network, 10 to 15 networks that administrator can configure it manually. But if you take internet, there are lakhs and lakhs, millions of networks are available. So it is impossible by an administrator to configure all the network in the routers. And here everything should be manually. So no updations, nothing, whatever the network details that has to be configured manually by the administrator. No automatic updates here it will be going to happen. And last, if there is any link failure, the router's route will not get updated. It is going to be exist in the router. So there will be a problem of forwarding the data packets to the unreachable network. So it is another drawback in static routing. Let me go for the configuration now. So this is the topology which I have taken here. Two networks. One is my office network with 10.10.10.0 and another one is my service provider network from where I got my internet service. Network is having the IP address 192.168.10.0. Go to the server. Here you could see desktop IP configuration. Here that server IP address pre-configured 192.168.10.100, 255.255.255.0 and this server's default gateway is going to be this ISP router 192.168.10.1 and this server is going to act as a DNS server. Like that, PC1 pre-configured with the IP address and PC2 also pre-configured with IP address and PC3 is also configured with IP address and this is my office network gateway configured with IP address 10.10.10.1 is my local area gateway, and this is the ISP router which is going to act as the gateway for this service provider network with the IP address 192.168.10.1. Now this area is going to be the wide area network which is going to connect two different local area networks. So for that, click the connection. Here you could see serial DCE. Actually, when you go for wide area network, one end has to be DCE and another end is going to be a DTE end. DTE stands for data terminal equipment, which is going to be in our local area network, and DCE stands for data circuit equipment, which is going to be at the end of our service provider. So choose this, click your ISP router. Here we can't find any serial port, right? And if you click this router also, here also we can't find any serial port. So wide area network connected with only serial ports, but by default the router will not have that serial port. For that I have to add a serial port. So click the router, switch off, and in the modules here you can see HWIC2T. I'm going to add it and switch on your router and go to this router modules. If without switch off you try to add the modules, means it will not accept it, so you have to switch off first and add the module and switch on it. Now you can give the connection. So click the serial DCE. This end is going to be your DCE end, and here serial 000. So you can see that serial end with DCE data circuit equipment, which is going to have a clock rate to decide your speed of data transmission, will have that symbol called clock symbol. This end will not have that clock symbol. Okay, so this is my service provider end, so it is going to have the DCE side. Now this network is going to be the IP address 11.11.11.0/24, which is the public IP address, and this router is going to have the IP address 11.11.11.1/24. This side is going to be 11.11.11.2/24. This is WAN network. Now we have to configure this IP addresses inside the router. I am going to the local office network gateway, go to config, enable, configure terminal. Now I have to assign the IP address. So interface S0/0/0. So that is your serial port interface. IP address 11.11.11.1 255.255.255.0 is my IP address. Here no need to set the clock rate because here no clock symbol. The DCE side is the another end. Give no shutdown command, end WR. Now give the command to see your routing table. So IP route. So here you could see two networks which is directly connected networks here, which is the 10 and which is going to be the 11 wide area net. Two networks connected directly. C stands for connected directly. Okay. Now go to this router, ISP router, enable, configure terminal, interface S0/0/0, which is the interface here, and IP address 11.11.11.2 255.255.255.0, and here we have to set the clock rate because this is going to be the DCE side, and here you could see the clock symbol. So clock rate. So if you give question mark, there are plenty of clock rates. You can use any clock rate. Let it be 72,000 bits per second. No shutdown command. Give end WR. Now see the routing table. So IP route. So here also this router is also having two network connected. One is 11 network, another one is 192 network. This network knows only two networks. One is 10 and 11. So gateway don't know about this side, don't know about 192 network, and this ISP router don't know about the office network 10.10.10 is not here. So we want to make these routers to know the details about each other. Let me try with ping command. So I'm going to the PC1 command prompt, ping my gateway. So 10.10.10.1, give enter. Yes, I am getting the reply here, and I am going to ping the another end. So ping 11.11.11.1, which is this router's another end, which is also reachable. Now if I try to connect with the another end of that serial port 11.11.11.2, this PC can't able to communicate because this knows only the directly connected network IPs. In 11, only 11.1 is reachable, 11.2 is connected with the another end, so that will not be reachable. So request timeout. So now I have to configure these two routers to know about all the networks details. So first I am going to configure this gateway router of office network to know the information about the service provider network. Configure terminal. IP route. From this side I want to go to this side. This side network IP is 192.168.10.0 255.255.255.0. That is the command, and if you click enter, it is giving you the incomplete command to reach this network through which I have to reach it. So give question mark. So here you can provide forwarding with the router IP address. So to reach this network, from this gateway, the next hop IP address is going to be this router. So this router IP address is 11.11.11.2. So only through this interface, the packets from this router will reach to this ISP network. So here I am going to give 11.11.11.2. That's it. End WR. Now I am giving the command to view my routing table. So IP route, here you could see one routing entries added here for the network 192.168.10.0 to reach this network, and with the administrative distance via 11.11.11.2 is my next hop IP address. So same like that, go to this router. So from this network I want to configure the route for this office network. For that, configure terminal IP route. So office network IP address is 10.10.10.0 So this side, to reach this network, the next hop IP address is this 11.11.1. But another way of doing that, you can give the exit interface of this router through which the packets will go out. The exit interface is going to be this serial port. So I am giving another method called serial 000. Give enter, end WR. Now so IP route. So here also you could see another entry added, flag S for the network 10 series, and here you could see by using the exit interface. Now let me try to ping it again. So go to the PC, now check it. Yes, now it is reachable from this PC. Before I can't access this 11.11.11.2 of ISP router end. Now after configuring the static route, now this PC can able to connect that router. Now check with the gateway of ISP service provider network. So ping 192.168.10.1, which is the gateway of this service provider network. That is also accessible. Now going to check the server. Ping 192.168.10. Server IP is 100. Give enter. First it will take time to reach it, and second attempt it will hit the server. So first it will take time, and second time onwards it will hit it. If you re-issue the command, all 4 replies you will get it. So these commands only we used: IP route, destination address, subnet mask. One by using the next hop IP address, or you can use the current router's exit interface. Hope you understand. Thanks for watching this video. Share with your friends. Subscribe this channel for getting more video updates. Bye bye.